O'Gene versus Hall. Step forward, please.
19-year-old student Jacqueline O'Gene says her former boyfriend, 18-year-old Andre Hall, crashed her car twice and assaulted her, breaking her cheekbone.
Order. All rise. This is case number 100 on the calendar in the matter of O'Gene versus Hall. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Are you her father?
Yes.
What's your first name, Miss O'Gene?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were a couple when you were teenagers.
Yes.
How old are you now?
I'm 19.
How old are you, sir?
18.
And you started to live together with your parents' permission.
Well, no, that's not true. I was moving away to go to college, and his mom was moving to the same town, and my dad offered to pay half the rent while I was in college, and I needed a roommate. As soon as I moved to Buffalo, I didn't have a roommate. I put up signs and stuff, and...
So you chose him as a roommate?
It was supposed to only be temporary.
So your father paid for half the rent and his mother paid for half the rent?
Yes.
But you were boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yes.
And according to this complaint, you bought a car?
Yes.
He had an accident with the car, and he drove the car again, and he wrecked the car?
Yes.
And then, when you ultimately separated, you had an argument and he broke your jaw?
Yes.
So let's start at the beginning. You moved in together, both going to college?
No, I dropped out.
Then what were you doing in Buffalo?
I live in Buffalo.
So what were you doing when you were living with her?
Working.
Okay. And you were driving her car?
Yes.
You had an accident?
Yes.
First one?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me about it?
I backed into a truck.
And you caused damage to the truck?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
No.
Why?
Because I didn't get the bill. She got the bill.
Did you say, could I have the bill?
No.
Why not?
Because she had the bill.
That should have been your first clue. Right? So this bill for the damaged truck that he backed into is still outstanding?
Yes.
And how much was the damage to the truck that he hit?
$937.02.
So after he drove your car, backed into the truck, which he didn't pay for, you let him drive the car again?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Well, because at the time he still said, well, you know, he said it was his fault, and he said since it was his fault, he would pay for it. And
but according to this complaint, he left the scene of the accident.
Yes, I know.
Is that right?
Yes.
When you hit the truck, you took off.
Yes.
Why?
Because I didn't want a ticket.
What kind of work were you doing?
What kind of work was I doing? Just working.
Listen, this isn't 20 questions and I got a secret. When I ask you a question, don't give me a ridiculous answer. Working. What kind of work were you doing?
A fast food restaurant.
Okay. So they tracked you down, I gather. Somebody got the license plate number and they tracked you down.
Yes.
Did they notify your father?
No.
Just you?
Yes.
So you let him drive the car again because according to these papers, he had to go return a video or something?
No, after he had gotten in the accident, when he hit the truck, he was going to Batavia, where we're from, to get money from a friend.
And tell me what happened.
He went around a curve too fast and ran into another truck. I have the accident report here.
Well, would you hand it up to Bird, please? So you went into another truck, Mr. Hall?
Yes.
And you totaled the car this time?
Yes.
You're not a very good driver.
The roads are bad.
The roads are bad?
Yeah. It was snowing.
So this car had to be sold, and according to your papers, it was sold for practically no money because it was totaled.
Right. My dad sold it for $400.
Is that right, sir?
Yes. After Andre
Step up here.
after Andre had the accident, he signed the car over into my name, and I paid the towing bill and the storage fee for it.
What do you mean he signed it over into your name? It was in his name?
Yes, they had.
What was the car doing in his name?
After he got in the first accident, my insurance is higher than his, and he had just got his, and I had to put the down payment on the insurance in order for the police to release the car because it was involved in an accident. So I had to sign the car in his name and put the insurance in his name because I couldn't afford it in my name because mine was higher than his.
Yours was higher than his, and he had already been in an accident?
He had just gotten his license like a month before that.
Don't you feel foolish?
Yes.
So I paid the towing and the storage bill on the car and sold it to whoever I could get the highest from. As of last week, I have 3 figures that the car was valued at $4,400 for the average.
Yeah, but she gave the car to him.
See, I had the money to put the insurance on the car. But after he had gotten in the car accident, his was cheaper than mine, so we put in his name, but it was only supposed to be temporary. So, and then we were going to sign it back over to me just a couple of months later, just because the down payment was, mine was higher than his.
Is that right, sir?
No, she had no license, and that's why she signed the car over into my name.
She had no driver's license?
No, her license was suspended.
Was it?
Yes.
For what?
Because I had gotten, just from tickets, I had gotten tickets that I didn't pay.
Another part of this equation is that Andre hasn't worked since I've known him for more than a week straight at any time. Jackie was working as a certified nurse's assistant, and in order to get to these locations, which were not on a bus route, she needed transportation.
And going to college.
And college.
I think that your first course in college should be mate picking 101.
That's probably true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. People, Judge Judy. Former cheerleader Jacqueline O'Jean claims her ex-boyfriend, Andre Hall, crashed her car and assaulted her, breaking her cheekbone. He says he hit her in self-defense.
Now, I read in this complaint that there came a time when you finally got disgusted with him and you moved out.
Yes.
And then you say he assaulted you. I want you to tell me about that because that's the greatest part of your claim.
We were arguing one night over something. It was stupid. We were arguing, and I said I wanted to wait till the morning to discuss it, and we just kept arguing, and one thing led to another, and he hit me.
Where did he hit you?
On my cheek.
And he broke your jaw?
My cheekbone.
Your cheekbone?
That's not how it happened.
Well, let me hear how it happened. Try to do it without smiling, sir.
Well, what happened was my friend from Batavia came down from Batavia. He was visiting me and Jackie. And when we came down, he met 2 girls. And we picked the 2 girls up, and we went to a party. We came back from the party and went to her house. And Jackie...
Oh, just a second. I have to understand this. Your friend came down, you went to a party, you met 2 girls.
Yes.
Your friend, a male friend?
Male friend.
So your male friend and the 2 girls went over to Jackie's house?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. Go ahead.
And she was intoxicated, and she was like, she was getting upset over everything, stupid things she was getting mad over.
Well,
and,
what do you walk into the house, you knock at the door,
no,
you
she
ring
was
the
with
bell.
us when we picked the 2 girls up.
Oh, she was?
Yes.
Where did you pick them up?
We picked them up on at the dorms.
I mean, did you know these girls before?
No.
You just went into the dorms hanging around?
No, they're outside.
And you just picked them up?
Yep.
And where did you go after you picked them up?
We tried to find a party, but we couldn't find the party. So we went back to her place and drank some more. And she got drunk and started tripping over, like, everything. And the girls had left, and Joe had left. Joe took the girls back home.
So your friend took the girls back home. It was just the 2 of you in the house?
Yes. And then, like, 10 minutes later, Joe had called and said the other girl wanted to talk to me.
One of the girls wanted to talk to you?
Yeah. I was on the telephone talking to her, and Jackie came out the room, and she was like, "Who's on the telephone?" I was like, "Nobody." She's like, "Give me the phone." I said, "Okay." I took the phone cord out of the phone, gave her the telephone receiver.
Just a minute. She said, "Who are you talking to?" You said, "Nobody." That you were just standing there with the phone in your ear, right?
Yeah.
So she said, "Let me see."
Yeah.
And you disconnected the phone and handed her the receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was talking to a dead phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened?
She threw the phone back at me and chipped my teeth.
Yeah.
And then like, I punched her in the mouth.
Your Honor, that's not how it happened. What happened?
You have any bills, sir?
I didn't bring it with me.
This wasn't a surprise that you were coming here today, right?
Yeah.
It was a surprise?
No.
No. Now you tell me how it happened. Good.
What happened was we were all out. My cousin had invited us to go to a party, and his friend from Batavia, Joe, came up, and we had gone to the store, and we were coming back from the store, and you know he doesn't have a girlfriend, so he stopped and he was talking to some girls.
Joe doesn't have a girlfriend.
Right.
You, on the other hand, had Prince Charming over here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And Joe went back and picked the girls up, and we were all looking for the party that my cousin told me about, but we couldn't find it. So we went back to my apartment, and they left. And then we had just started arguing because we argued all the time because I just feel that everything that I ever had, Andre had started to take from me. You know, my car, everything I had worth of money he had taken. We used to argue all the time, and we were just arguing. And
Why didn't you just dump him?
I probably should have. I don't know, because yeah.
I mean, according to your father, you work?
Yes.
As what?
As a cashier and as a hostess, but I'm going to college full-time also.
In what school?
Erie Community College.
What do you want to be?
I wanted to be an accountant.
Keep having boyfriends like this, you're going to have to be an accountant.
Yeah.
Now, according to your papers, your medical bills were well over $5,000, but most of them were covered by insurance.
Yes.
Tell me about what happened to your mouth when he punched you.
At first, when I went to the emergency room, the ambulance took me there. They thought I had broken my jaw, and they thought they were going to have to wire my jaw shut. But after x-rays, I just had to have surgery to pop the bone back out. And I just couldn't talk for like 3 weeks. Couldn't open my mouth.
That was some hit, sir.
Yes, it was.
Why did you smile?
I didn't smile. You smiled at me.
I smiled at you?
Yeah.
Hardly.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judy. Jacqueline O'Jean wants her medical bills and car damages paid by her former boyfriend, Andre Hall.
Do you still see him?
No. I see him around town, like on the buses and stuff. I don't invite him over to my house or anything.
Yes, he does.
No, I don't. He has not been over to my house since it happened.
Yes, I have.
When?
I told him he could come get...
When?
Last time I was over her house was about a month ago.
A month ago.
Yeah.
What were you doing over there?
Talking.
What else?
Nothing.
Did you spend the night?
No, never.
You just went over there to talk?
Yeah. I used to come over. I used to work 11 to 7 down the street from our house, and I went over there a few times in the morning after work.
He calls me up and asks what he would do if he came over, and I said I wouldn't open the door. And he doesn't believe that, but he hasn't. He says he's come over when I haven't been there. But
How long were you out of work because of this fractured cheekbone?
2 weeks.
How much do you earn a week?
I had just started a new job because I just moved in the apartment, so I was only making $150 a week, about.
Did you report this incident to the police?
The police came and I didn't press charges on him.
Why?
I didn't want him to go to jail.
Why?
I know it was wrong, but I don't want to see him spend like a long time in jail or anything. I want him to go on with his life.
How about just a couple of weeks?
A couple of weeks.
You look like a pretty strong guy. That must have been some wallop you gave her to fracture her cheekbone.
I didn't mean it. I'm saying, if somebody hit you in the mouth with a telephone, you're going to swing back. And I swung back. I didn't mean to break her jaw. You know, I feel bad about that, but I'm saying, if you're man enough to hit somebody, you're man enough to hit back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
you go
hit
to
him
the
with
doctor?
phone until after.
I went to the dentist, yes.
Show me.
Right here.
Show me the bills.
Oh, I didn't bring them.
Supposed to bring things, you
Well,
know,
I
like you're
forgot.
supposed to pay for the truck damage. You're not supposed to leave the scene of an accident. Listen, you have other children?
Yes.
How many other children do you have?
I have one son.
How old?
He's 16.
Do you ever have any talks with your daughter?
Oh, very often. I feel Jackie has come a long way since this incident and even the incidents before that. If I didn't feel that, I wouldn't have come all the way across the country with her to be here. I feel she's making big strides. She's working towards supporting herself and getting through college, and it's...
She looks like a nice young lady who is irresponsible. She's irresponsible. I know that because she had tickets that she didn't pay, so her driver's license was suspended. Did you know that?
Yes.
I've worked and paid off all my fines so
I know,
far.
but you didn't pay them as you were getting them. That's part of a responsibility of having a driver's license and driving a car. You get a ticket. The first thing you do is you go home, you write out a check, and you pay it.
That's true.
Jackie's been raised realizing that there's a reasonable consequence to every action. And these have built up on her, and she's realized it now, and I feel she's straightening her life around well. However, I don't think it's fair that this guy has taken away everything that she's had and worked towards.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. He's a good lesson.
Just to give you a little idea about the honesty of whatever his statements are, he didn't tell you that after he had punched her, he had called my house, and my wife answered, and he told her that Jackie had been jumped on the street. He didn't tell us the real story. So when we got to the hospital, which we had to drive an hour at 3 o'clock in the morning to get there to find out what was really going on, Jackie told me the real story. And so I called the police, and however, since she wouldn't press charges, they had to release him. However, they did search him, and they didn't find her keys to her apartment, her book bag, or her bus pass, or her gold necklace.
That he stole while I was in the hospital.
No, I didn't. I don't like gold. Why would I steal a gold necklace? I don't like gold.
He stole my book bag and my keys while I was in the hospital, and the next day I had to go to school. I couldn't talk. I had no book bag, no keys to my apartment. My dad had to pay $50 to get the locks changed, and then he brought the keys back 2 days later.
Let me tell you, your daughter has very bad judgment. I hope she recognizes that. But I'm going to tell you, there's something back here that suggests to me that she still communicates with him. She may not tell you that, but I get these little hairs that's standing up in the back of my neck that suggest to me that they are not totally estranged. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Where are you working now, Mr. Hall?
I work at the Dollar Tree.
How many hours a day do you work?
Like 12.
And how many days a week?
4.
Good. And you living at home with your mother?
Yeah.
Good. So you got all that money, right?
Suppose.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That'll cover you $937, a little bit of lost wages, a little bit of pain and suffering, and start to use your judgment. Your medical bills were covered, right, by your insurance?
Yes.
Good. He's not a winner. Do you understand?
Yes.
He doesn't take responsibility for what he does. He was in an accident. He fled the accident. Looked around. Nobody saw me. I'm leaving. He wrecked your car. Took no responsibility for that either. And then, to add insult to injury, he used his fist, his hand, to put on your body hard enough to break a bone. All that would suggest to a normal person that this is somebody that you want to distance yourself from forever.
I know that.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next...
Parties on Michaels versus Huggins. Step forward, please.
Female impersonator David Michaels says Darlene Huggins hired him to entertain at her husband's 50th birthday party. Darlene says she didn't like the show, so she stopped payment on his check. David is suing for his fee.
Order. All rise. Yeah, it's case number 366 on the calendar in the matter of Michaels versus Huggins. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Michaels, you came in costume today to the courtroom. I don't know why. I assume you'll tell me if I ask you. I don't know if I'm going to ask you. But you earn your living as a female impersonator. You entertain, at least part of your job is to entertain at parties for which you are paid on a nightly basis. Mm-hmm. You were hired by the defendant to entertain at her husband's 50th birthday party to do some sort of an act. Want to tell me about this act?
Yes. I actually came dressed like this today, Your Honor, because I was hired as a film impersonator to fool her husband, and I did
fool her husband.
And I did fool him because he thought I was a woman.
Okay. So you came to the party, and the idea of the party, at least her participation in the party, Miss Huggins, was that she mingled with the guests and your husband and did whatever she did and fooled him at the end, and at the end she let it all hang out. Is that the idea?
Well, I was hired for the party. I did my whole routine, which I explained to her in detail what I had to do, you know, everything. Going in there, dancing, sitting in his lap, telling jokes, whatnot. At the end, I pull off my wig, and in a deep voice, I say something like, "Happy birthday from your friends. They always had their doubts about you."
Okay. So whatever. You went to the party. How many people were at this party?
150.
150.
And I assume she did, in fact, fool your husband during the majority of her performance.
Most of the way through, yes.
Then you gave her a check, you stopped payment on the check.
Correct.
So you stiffed her. Why?
Because the act was not what I ordered through the agency I went through. He was supposed to come in and dance around, entertain, strip down to a bikini.
Oh, you know that's not correct.
Mr. Michaels, shh. Go ahead.
Do a comedy roast on him, and no contact whatsoever except possibly sitting on his lap, and that at the end of the act he would take off his wig and his voice would be normal, and then it would surprise him.
So?
Well, we had a couple other surprises in between.
So?
When David Michael came in and to do the act, he didn't come early enough to mingle. He came right in and started to do the act with my husband. He handcuffed my husband, took a sanitary pad out of his bag, proceeded to wipe my husband's face with it, take warm whipped cream out of a can and sprayed it on his clothes, dripping down on his clothes, and then proceeded to take napkins and wipe it off his, which I have pictures here.
I don't even want to see those pictures. You painted an ugly enough word picture for me. Shh.
So, you know, I was really upset. I quit videotaping. We were videotaping it. I had a couple of my friends walk out. It was just really in bad taste. It was a family party, you know. I mean, we're having a good time.
Miss Huggins, the whole idea is in bad taste. If you're having a family party, you don't hire a female impersonator who's going to come into your house, if it's a family party, and perform whatever kind of thing that you said yourself you wanted somebody to strip down to a bikini.
Yes.
Well, you wouldn't do that, as far as I'm concerned. If you're having a family party. So the whole thing was not in good taste. What you're complaining was it was in worse taste than you had anticipated.
Correct.
Now, at what point did she handcuff him?
In the beginning.
So why didn't you tell her to leave?
Well, I was in the back of the room with 150 people between us.
So then you make your way through the 150 people and you go up there and said, "This is not what I bargained for, please leave." But you didn't. You let her continue. Right?
Correct.
And at what point did she take out this sanitary napkin?
About after the handcuffs.
So also, halfway through, shh, you're winning so far, be quiet. But not halfway through, a quarter of the way through, you still didn't tell her to leave. This is in bad taste. So you don't keep her around, let her do a performance, then give her a check, and then cancel the check. It's outrageous.
There was more to the story.
So let me hear.
Okay. He took out a whip and proceeded to pull my male guest out and slap him across the face and bend him over and lift his leg up on a chair and then whip their bottoms. That was 3 guests. She did that too.
Just a second. After the first one, why didn't you tell her to leave?
I was too embarrassed and shocked to even approach her.
Embarrassed and shocked. And after she did that to the first guest, the second guest came out, she pulled them out. I mean, she's one person. If they don't want to be pulled out, they're not pulled out. They say, "This is not something that I want to do." So not only did the first one come out, then the second one came out, and then the third one came out. And you're watching all of this, being appalled, being shocked, being in a state, whatever. You didn't tell her to leave. Why'd you cancel the check for?
Well, I wasn't going to cancel the check. I gave the check to my girlfriend because I was very embarrassed and upset over it. And I said, I don't even want to talk to him. I said, give him the check and he's out of here. And so he left, and my girlfriend gave him the check, and then he came storming back in through the party, tapped me on my back, and he said, "You haven't paid me." And I said, "Yes, I have paid you." And I said, "What was the $250 for?" And he said, "I want a tip." And I said, "I'm not giving you a tip." And he demanded that I pay him a tip. And I explained to him that obviously we have a problem with the agency we went through, that on Monday we would deal with the agency, and that he was misrepresented because...
Did you agree with the agency to give him a tip? That's in here.
No.
What did they tell you about the tip?
The tip was optional. He charged $250 to come out, and the tip was optional.
Well, that's what a tip is. Tip is usually a gratuity that is, in fact, optional. Optional, that's what a tip is, right?
Well, first of all, she begged to have me perform for the party. I got the call about a week and a half beforehand, before the party, and I was on the phone, and she said, I was told it was in Mission Viejo, the agency said. I said, okay, because I was on the other line, and I thought it was too far.
Just a minute. You said that it was too far, and then you said, okay, I will do it even though it's a farther trip than I usually like to make.
I declined to do the party beforehand, and...
But then you agreed to do the party.
Because at that time, even the morning of the party, I called the agency again and I said, did you still find anybody for that woman's party, because she won't have anybody there? And they said, no, we haven't, and she's livid because she wanted you.
So?
So I said, tell her the terms, my terms are, I will go for $250 and I have to get a $100 tip.
Yeah, but you never told her that.
The agency told her that.
Listen to me.
That's why I turned the party down.
Shh. Listen to me. If you have problem with the agency, she says that the agency never told her that your fee was really $350, not $250. And what you're saying is, madam, you told the agency you wanted a $100 tip. She's saying the agency told her that the tip was optional. Did I call you madam? It's confusing to me. It's so confusing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Female impersonator David Michaels is suing Darlene Huggins for stopping payment on a check she gave him after his performance.
Did you tell her that you expected as part of your pay a $100 gratuity?
I said, because I'm going so far, you know that I have to get a tip. And I generally, to go to as far as Irvine, I get $100. Hers was in Mission Viejo. That's past Irvine.
Are you telling me now, Mr. Michaels, that... Are you making this up as you're going along? That you spoke to her and told her that $100 was required?
She was aware beforehand with the agency.
Your agreement was for $250. Why did you stop payment on the check?
Because I had an act that was coming out, and he did not perform what I was told he was going to perform. I filled out a 2-page questionnaire to roast my husband, funny things that have happened in his life and so forth. And then Monday before the party, I got a call from the agency telling me that he refused to come out to my party. Then 2 days later, I get another phone call from another girl at the agency saying, well, now David Michael has decided to do your party. And I said, okay, so everything's all right. And she said, yes. And she says, that'll be $250. I said, tip is optional. She said, yes.
Mandatory.
So...
Shh. Did you give him the $100 tip?
No, I did not.
Okay. Mr. Michaels, A, you deal through an agency. You have no idea what an agent tells her. You have no idea what an agency tells any of your clients except what is written in a formal agreement. Your agreement with her was $250. That was your agreement with her. You and her. Anything that had to do with tip. She says the tip was told is optional. You said you just whispered to her mandatory. A tip is not mandatory. It is an expression of thanks for good service. Now, she has a right to say, I didn't like the service, I'm not going to give you a tip. But she has absolutely no right, after enjoying your service, which she did not stop as soon as she saw that it was not what she ordered. She let you continue to perform for this group. And it was not until it was over that she was so humiliated that she didn't even want to look at you again. So, Ms. Huggins, you're absolutely wrong for giving her a check and for canceling that check. So the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $250. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back door to your right, please.
I think I should have stuck with a 350-pound woman wrestler.
It's not my fault that her husband does not have a sense of humor.
It was absolutely pathetic.
And now the next case.
All parties on Clark versus Reynolds. Step forward, please.
22-year-old fisherman O'Neill Clark says former friend, 29-year-old cable company rep Raven Reynolds, took $1,300 from him and won't give it back. Raven says he threatened to kill her.
Mr. Clark, it looks to me from your complaint that you and the defendant were in some sort of a relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were called away to work in another part of the state. And what you did was you sent your paycheck to the defendant to pay your bills, your household bills.
Send it to Western Union.
And there came a time when she called you, according to your complaint, and said that she had some extra money because your bills were more than covered, and there was some extra money in your account that she needed.
Yes, Your Honor.
How much did she need?
Well, she got $1,400 for me. I told her she could have $100 and put on $13 till I get there.
And what did she do?
She told me she's going to get an apartment in September, October, and she needs some money, and she's going to borrow my $1,300.
So did you tell her she could take the money or she couldn't?
Well, if I tell her she could have, she couldn't, she will still take it because I know she'll get down.
In any event, she took your $1,300.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you admit that you took his $1,300.
Yes.
And you say you had his permission to take the $1,300.
Yes.
Now, you hadn't been living with him
No,
before
not
that.
at all.
You were friends.
We were just friends.
He says in his complaint that he really cared about you, that he used to pay for things for you, like having your hair braided and stuff. Isn't that what you said in your complaint?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you knew that he cared for you,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. According to your complaint, you didn't care for him the same way.
Not the same way he felt about me, no.
So you took his $1,300 anyway.
I spoke to him about it, and he said I could borrow it. He said I could borrow it, and I told him that once I moved, in the next few weeks, I'd give him the money, start paying him the money back, which he agreed upon.
So why didn't you pay it back?
Because this man put me through hell. Hell.
Just a minute,
broke into my house.
He came back, and he told you he needed the money when he came back.
No, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Altogether, he had sent me about $2,400, right?
We're just talking about $1,300.
Oh, okay.
Stick to the $1,300.
Okay, fine. I didn't give him the money back, no.
Why?
He put me through hell. He broke into my house and everything for no reason. He put a knife to my neck where he had on white rubber gloves and put a knife to my neck. And at that point, after he did that, I felt that he didn't deserve to get that money back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judge Judy. O'Neill Clark claims Raven Reynolds owes him $1,300. Raven says he threatened to kill her.
What did he want when he broke into your
I
house?
have no idea.
Did he want his money?
He didn't tell me he wanted the money. All he kept telling me was that I could kill you and I can go back to Jamaica. There's no jail cell that can hold me and everything like that.
Well, if he
and
did,
we went through the court system and everything, and they said that there wasn't enough evidence to convict him, but he stayed in jail.
well, according to these papers, they dropped the charges against him, but he spent a few months in jail awaiting trial on that case. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go into her house?
No, Your Honor.
You're a damn liar.
Shh. Okay. Now, let's get to this $1,300 for a second. You just told me that you agreed that this was a loan,
Yeah.
and that you would pay him back. Let me...
But he...
Shut up!
Okay.
Hey. Let me read you from your answer, okay? Your answer to his complaint that you signed says, I had a bad situation where I was living and had to move. So far true?
Yes.
I needed $1,400 as soon as possible and asked O'Neill if I could borrow the money since it was right there and I would give him back some every week until it was paid.
Yes.
So far? That's what you just told me.
Yeah.
Then you say, he said okay. And a few days later he told me that I didn't have to pay him back because things were going so well in Albany. That's what you said here. That's not what you just told me. You forgot that that's what you wrote here. You forgot, Miss Reynolds, because the one thing that you would say to me, if it were true, is I originally was going to borrow the money, but then he told me I didn't have to pay him back.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't say that part.
He didn't say it because it's not true.
Yes, it is true.
Yeah. So what you want to do now is set off the trauma that you went through, the alleged trauma that you went through when he came to your home. You figure that's worth $1,400. Is that right?
No, I think it's worth more than that, what he put me through, yes.
Well, this case was dismissed.
It was dismissed, but this man still continued to harass me. I went through 2 police stations
Just a
and everything.
second. What was he harassing you for?
Because he's telling me he's in love with me. This man's been in a psychiatric hospital because he's telling the police that he's in love with me and he wants to kill himself. When they come up with the ambulance, he decides, oh no, I changed my mind, but they took him anyway. I mean, he's crazy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Miss Reynolds, you know what a smart person does? Smart person says, I want to take away any of the possible friction that there is between us, me and this psychiatrically hospitalized person. So the first thing I'm going to do is give him back his $1,400. Nope! Just don't say no, because that's what a smart person does. Because right now, he's feeling, according to you, a little used. You knew he cared about you in a way different from the way you cared about him. Clearly, you used that in order to get your $1,400. And then, when he wanted it back, because he realized you were going nowhere with this relationship, and he realized that, you say he went off, did all kinds of bizarre things, including harassing you. So what you would do if you were a reasonable person, a moral person, a right person, would be say, I'm not going to let him think in his head that he's been made a fool of by me, by taking his money. So I'm going to give him back his money, and then hope that he'll go away. You, on the other hand, hope that he'll go away, and you want to keep his money. Wrong. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,400. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Parties on Miller versus Dyer. Step forward, please.
22-year-old bartender Jennifer Miller says 25-year-old salesman Daniel Dyer was drunk and assaulted her outside a bar. Daniel claims Jennifer bit him.
Order. All rise. Now, it's case number 396 on the calendar in the matter of Miller versus Dyer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
I have a lawsuit for assault and battery and injuries, and I have a countersuit for assault by you. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
This occurred in some bar outside in the parking lot of some bar that you were both in.
Yes.
So, Miss Miller, why don't you start?
Well, on the evening of December 4th, 1997, I arrived at the bar in about 8 o'clock maybe. I was meeting some friends. You know, we were going to celebrate because I just got a new job. I just moved back. And we were playing pool when the defendant came in with another friend. I mean, just staggering and yelling, and came up from behind and grabbed me in my crotch. And
You remember that?
No.
Do you remember anything of that evening?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Well, I let it slide. I turned around. I didn't
You let it slide?
Well, not in the sense let it slide. It caught me by surprise. I was there with some friends. I thought it was my friend playing a joke on me. And when I turned around, I saw it was him and another guy, and I asked him, what did you do that for? He said, I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. Okay, you know, I'm not going to just turn around and hit someone when I wasn't for sure exactly who it was that did it to me at first. A little while later, his friend came up to me and was talking to me and apologized for him. I said, that's fine, just don't let it happen again. And then he came up and tried to talk to me, and before he could even say anything, I let him know. I said, look, I don't know you, but you ever do that again, next time I will hit you.
And he said, okay, I'm really sorry. And he was talking to me and tried to set his beer down on the table that I was sitting at, and it just went everywhere, all over me, all over the table. So he got up to go get a towel to clean it up and had an argument with some other people that were in the bar. And then they asked him to leave. He was outside, and my friend was talking to him, so I went to the door and told her to come back inside. I put my arm out to reach for her. He slapped my hand away and told me to mind my own business. Okay, so I told him, you don't know me to mess with me, you know, just leave me alone. I stepped outside the bar to pull her back in, and is when he slapped me.
Where did he slap you?
In the face.
Go ahead.
But at first, it was more, I guess, because everybody had been drinking. Myself, not nearly as much as he had. But, you know, understandable, you know, when people drink, people do get stupid. You know, I would clearly admit that I shouldn't have stepped outside the bar to pull her in. And as far as that, you know,
he slapped you. What happened next?
I slapped him back, and he grabbed me by my shoulder and picked me up, and his car was there and had me pinned up against the car with my head in between his arm and the car, and I bit him.
On the chest?
Yes, I did.
And then what happened?
He finally let me go, and dummy me, said I told him if he wanted to fight, I'd be more than willing to fight. You know, so I took off my jacket and my sweatshirt. I still had a t-shirt and a thermal on. And then we started fighting from there, and he got asked to leave, and I went back inside. They locked him out of the bar.
When you say you started fighting, you started punching each other?
No, slapping each other.
Slapping each other?
Yeah. And when he threw me to the ground, I got up, he fell, and that was it. In a way, it was more like a joke. Everybody was laughing and thought it was a joke, but me and him were being serious. But they made me go back in the bar. They asked him to leave. So he left. A comment was made that he was going to kill me.
Comment by whom?
By him. Oh. As I was going into the bar, there was other patrons. I wasn't the only one that heard him say this.
But you heard him say it,
Yes. And he came back about 10, maybe 15 minutes later in completely different clothing, banging on the door, trying to get in.
Trying to get back into the bar?
Mm-hmm. And he was then confronted. Then at that first time when he did it, the door was open. He came right back in and walked directly towards me, and everybody from the bar got him and made him go back outside. The bartender at the time locked everybody in the bar. So I waited. I figured I only live maybe 200-300 yards away from this place. I'm going to go home. When it was clear, I didn't see him anymore. So I asked the bartender to let me out, and she did. And at that time, he came up from the side of the building and grabbed me and threw me down to the ground. I hit a sidewalk, and it knocked me out. When I woke up maybe 10 seconds later, he was laying on me, and I told him I was going to kill him, and I kneed him in his mouth. And from there, we started fighting, and people started to pull him away from me. But as they pulled him off of me, he had me by my hair, dragging my face along the sidewalk. And then they took me back in the bar. He left again, and then a few minutes later, the police, the fire department, ambulance showed up.
Was he arrested?
No, he was not.
Why?
They couldn't find him. I have a
Did you file a complaint?
Yes, I did. I signed a 242 PC that night. And the witness that called the police was across the street on a payphone that witnessed this entire thing. He is in my statement.
Okay. I can't hear from a witness who's not here.
I've made attempts to contact him, but I believe he is incarcerated at the time, or at this time.
Okay. Did you go to the doctor or hospital?
Yes, the ambulance took me to the hospital.
Can I see the reports, please?
I have the police report and the doctor bills and the...
Let me see them.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All of a sudden, bam.
Ill people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Miller claims Daniel Dyer assaulted her outside a bar. Daniel is countersuing, claiming Jennifer bit him. He wants money for pain and suffering.
So you both told the police that you didn't want to prosecute the other. You told the police you didn't want him prosecuted, but that you wanted him to pay for the medical bills.
Yes.
All right, sir, let's hear your version of the events, please.
Your Honor, on December 4th, 1997, A friend and I decided to go to my friend's dad's bar, which is Cheers, to play some pool, have a few drinks. My birthday was the next day, so we decided to go out there. We arrived at the bar.
You had been drinking before you got to the bar?
Yes.
And where had you started drinking?
At his house.
What time had you started drinking at his house?
Say approximately 9 or 10 o'clock.
And what time did you get to this bar?
Probably around 10:30 or 11.
So you'd been drinking for a couple of hours before you got to the bar.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, go on.
We walked into the bar, ordered a few drinks.
All right, let's stop right there. How far do you live away from the bar?
Approximately a block.
And you walked there?
No.
So you and your buddy were drinking for a couple of hours. You got into your car and you drove there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who drove?
I drove, Your Honor.
Let's go.
We decided that we wanted to play pool. Walked over to the pool table, put some quarters down on the pool table, waited for our turn to come. It came, so I walked over. I noticed that the girls were there at the table next to the pool table. I asked them if they would like to play a doubles game, so we did. We played a doubles game of pool. I noticed
Did you
later,
play a doubles game of pool with him?
I played with his friend and another elderly man from the bar, not Daniel.
we played a pool game. I noticed that it was getting late. It was going to be time for me to go to work in the morning. I had to work the next morning, and I had to get up fairly early. I motioned to my friend. I said, I want to leave. And we had been talking to Jennifer and her friend, and they said that they were going to leave also. And we all walked outside. My car was parked right outside the front door. So we were standing outside talking. My friend said that he was going to use a phone. He walked over to the phone. It was right to the right of the door. Somehow Jennifer and I, plainly, somehow I said, let's box. And she says to me, I would kick your... So I said, it doesn't even matter because I would never hit a woman. At that time, I said, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go to work the next morning. I turned to my friend and said, I'm leaving. He said he was staying. So I turned to open my car door, and all of a sudden, bam, in the right eye, right here, I was hit from the side. I fell into my car, hit myself on the lip, and just stunned. She ran into the bar. And then when I gained my composure, I looked back. She had come back out and looked like she was coming back for more or something. I grabbed her by her forearms right here. We fell to the ground. That's when everybody from the bar rushed out, and they thought I was beating this girl's butt or something. They tried to separate us, and in the process of separating us, she was biting me on my left pectoral muscle. And they kept pulling and pulling, and like, let go of her, let go of her. And I couldn't let go because she was biting me. And finally, we got separated. They told me to leave. They were calling the police and the ambulance, so I left. I went home, went to sleep. Apparently, the police officers came to my door and pounded on it. I didn't hear them. Later on, we tried to reconcile the situation. I got the bar owner to talk with her mother and her about helping pay for these medical bills. After we had discussed that, the police officer came to my house, said that he needed to speak with me. I went to the police department, gave him my statement. He took pictures of me, of my wounds, and later on he contacted me, said that she was dropping the charges, and he also said to me that I would be able to file charges against her for assault and battery.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you have any recollection of leaving the bar changing your clothes.
I went home, changed my clothes, came back.
Right! You didn't tell me that, sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you left that part out.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by...
Hey, let's go somewhere fun with AAA. Let's go for a night on the town. No kids. Let's go for a weekend away. Okay, let's bring the kids. But first, let's get this fixed.
AAA, your membership to go.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Miller is suing Daniel Dyer for assaulting her outside a bar. Daniel claims he was restraining her in self-defense.
Now, what time did you get to this bar?
I arrived in between 8 and 8:30.
And had you been drinking before you arrived?
No, I hadn't. I had just come from work.
But you started to drink when you got there.
All in all, the total, during this whole thing, I had 4.5 beers.
Well, little ones or big ones?
Regular 12-ounce bottles. There's some truth to what he is saying, but a lot of it, no. As far as him, that I just struck him out of the blue for no reason is not true.
One of the things I don't understand, Miss Miller, is, he got to this bar pretty well sauced to begin with. And he continued to drink while he was there. And he was so inebriated that he didn't even hear the police when they were banging on his door. Yeah, so I have to discount a lot of what he said because he was drunk and driving his car. It means he could have hurt a lot of people in the block that you drove. So you weren't even smart enough to say, I've been drinking, let me walk the block to the bar. But that doesn't excuse your stupid behavior.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
You stay in the bar, you don't go outside.
Well, when I did leave the bar, I thought it was safe because he had been gone for a little while. And I figured I live next door, I'm going to run home. I'll be fine.
Why didn't you go with somebody else?
Actually, I did. I left with my friend Shannon and her husband. They were walking right behind me as this happened.
Where are they?
They were supposed to be here this morning. I got a call early this morning. Their daughter had to be admitted to the hospital. She's having some type of surgery on her arm.
Well, did Shannon and her husband come to your assistance?
Yes, they did. They were out of the rest of the bar that was pulling him off of me. They were the first two out, and Shannon was yelling for other people to help her and her husband get him off of me.
And you, Mr. Dyer, have no recollection of leaving the bar, having the door locked, and then trying to come back in. You have no recollection of that, sir?
Of coming back?
Yes.
I did come back.
Do you have any recollection of leaving the bar, changing your clothes?
I went home, changed my clothes, came back.
Right! You didn't tell me that, sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you left that part out. What did you go home and change your clothes for?
Excuse me?
What word didn't you understand?
The shirt that I had on had been bitten a hole through.
Yeah.
And so I went home, I changed my shirt.
Right.
Came back.
Why?
Because I wanted to see what was going on.
According to you, you knew what was going on. So you did leave the bar, go home. Did you drive home or did you walk home?
I drove home, man.
Got into your car, drove home, changed your clothes, and then came back. And what happened when you came back?
I walked in the door. As soon as I walked in, everybody told me to leave. So I got in the car and I left.
No. That's not what happened.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
No. You left out that whole piece of your story, Mr. Dyer. And the first telling of the story, it all happened at one time. She bit you, you got her off you, the police and ambulance were called, and that was the end of the story. That's what you just told me. Isn't that right, Bert?
That's what I heard.
Judge Judy continues.
Your counterclaim, Mr. Dyer, is dismissed. Miss Miller, you're suing for a lot of money. You want several $1,000s. Your medical bills were $888.93.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You want several $1,000s. You don't get several $1,000s because you're almost as dumb as he is.
Yes. I'll admit.
Almost, but not quite. What? If I ever got into a fight, I'd like to have you in my corner.
Thank you.
You have photographs of your injuries?
Yes, but they did not come out as well. I also have the injuries from the police department of Daniel as well.
Where are they?
Right here.
Let me see.
And I did bring one of the shirts that I happened to be wearing that night. The other one got lost somewhere that night.
Is any of this money reimbursed by insurance?
No, it's not.
You bit him pretty good.
Well, when he's laying on top of me, there's nothing else I can do.
That's all right. Do what you got to do. You have any photographs, Mr. Dyer?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see them, please. His are only slightly better than yours, but this shows a beer belly, sir. Shouldn't drink, it's not attractive.
Oh my gosh.
Judgments for the plaintiff in the amount of $888. I assume, Mr. Dyer, that you're not going to drink and drive anymore, are you, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Have a history? Any arrests for DWI?
No, Your Honor.
None?
None.
Very lucky. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the
Parties on Nottage versus Hill. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Santana Nottage is suing brothers William and Mark Hill for throwing a beer bottle at his car. Their brothers are countersuing Santana for beating them up.
Order. All rise. Order. Thank you. Now, this is case number 387 on the calendar in the matter of Nottage versus Hill. Parties have been sworn in,
Thank you,
Judge.
Bird.
Welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
So you gentlemen got into a little bit of a confrontation in your cars.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Mr. Nottage, according to your complaint, you are suing the defendant because you say that you were assaulted and he damaged your car with a beer bottle. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And your counterclaim is for medical bills because you claim that this gentleman assaulted both of you.
Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. He assaulted my brother, and I had happened to try to calm everything down. That's how I got involved.
And you were punched.
Yes, I was hit.
Right. Okay, so where did this whole problem start?
May I speak?
Please.
Okay, we were driving down Cedar Lane in Howard County, and as we were driving down the street...
Who's we?
I was driving alone in my car.
You were alone?
I was behind them, and as I was coming up to go past them, I saw they were moving their mouths. So I figured they wanted to speak to me about something. I figured they would ask for directions or something. So I rolled my window down, asked them, "Can I help you?" So the one on the left asked me,
"What's your name?"
Mark.
You're Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
He asked me why was I driving like So I gave him the finger. So then he says, Mark, he was in the passenger seat, you stupid. So I said, huh? And then both of them start calling me back and forth. And then we start exchanging words, and
What did you say to them?
I said, you too. So then the one on the left throws a beer bottle at my car.
Mark?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Throws a full beer bottle in my car. So I speed up to get in front of him and slam my brakes.
Okay, so you're all by yourself.
Yes.
And they're behaving according to you like two lunatics.
Yes.
Nasty lunatics.
Yes.
So you do, smart thing, you speed up in front of them and slam on your brakes. And what was the purpose of that?
I needed them to pull over.
You wanted them to pull over?
Yes.
Why did you want them to pull over?
I have a brand new 1998 Integra, which I paid for straight out cash. I'm not going through my insurance company for them. They're going to pay for the damage they did to my car.
You mean throwing the beer bottle at your car?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened next?
So then, both of them start yelling at me, pull over, we're going to show you how we kick a... around here. So we pull into the parking lot of the car, into the hospital where this altercation took place, the physical part. I pulled into the front of the hospital. They pulled off about 50 feet away, and then they rounded their cars, and both of them ran up to me at once with closed fists, talking about they were going to beat me up. You're going to get it. We're going to make you pay.
Yes.
So then,
That's not true.
I saw.
You're going to get a chance. Okay. Go ahead.
Mark was on the left, and he was on the right.
What's your first name?
William.
So then, because he was coming closer and he was coming a little faster, I hit him.
You hit Mark first?
I hit Mark first. So then I stepped back to see what was he doing, because he was on the left. And as I stepped back, I saw him drop to his knees, and he was on the ground.
So you must have hit him really good?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Really good.
So you hit this one really good. Shh.
Order.
Shh. You hit this one pretty good.
Right. In the meantime, he's trying to grab me. So
How did he try to grab you?
He grabbed me by my shirt. So I stepped back and pulled his arm. I don't know if that's what tore his shoulder, whatever damages he claimed, but that's the only way I can see how it was possible. And then me and him were fighting. I fought him longer than I fought his brother. His brother went down, I hit him once and he was on the ground. Now,
How many times did it take for you to get him to the ground?
I hit him about 7 times, he would not fall.
Okay. Now, and then somebody came out and broke up this fight. All right. I'm going to give them an opportunity to tell their side of the story, Mr. Nottage. But first, let me deal with you, sir. First, take your hand out of your pocket.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You seem like an otherwise intelligent young man. So I have a few questions. You got 2 guys who are behaving like Looney Tunes, according to you. And they threw a beer bottle at your car, something which you acknowledge you did.
Yes, ma'am.
So you decided, I mean, you've heard all the news reports and everything else about lunatics in cars. So the smart thing for you to do was to keep going and try to get their license plate number, right?
Yes.
So instead, you pull in front of them and slam on your brakes.
Yes.
Something that you knew instinctively would really tick them off. Because that's what happens when somebody pulls up in front of you, slams on their brakes, you get angry. And they were already angry about something. You know, maybe they had a bad sandwich or something else.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judy. Santana Nottage claims William and Mark Hill threw a beer bottle at his car. William and Mark claim Santana beat them up.
Okay. Now, the Hill boys. Which one of you was drinking?
Me.
And you were the passenger?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were the moron who threw the beer bottle?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you think?
Well, one of the reasons why I threw the beer bottle, it's not all correct, is we was going down the road. He come closer to our car. Now we had 2 children in the car. We was going to the hospital to pick my wife up, and that's the reason why I threw it. I felt.
You were going to the hospital to pick your wife up. What was your wife doing in the hospital?
She got operated on a week and a half before that for Crohn's disease.
Serious disease.
Yes, ma'am.
And she was coming back because the operation was successful?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were bringing your 2 children to pick her up?
Yes, ma'am.
So you decided to do a little celebrating beforehand?
You could say that, yes.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm asking you.
Yes, I had a few beers before that earlier. Yes, ma'am.
What time in the day did this happen?
Approximately noon.
No, Your Honor.
What time?
It happened around 11:30. It was really early in the morning.
Just a second. He says noon, you say 11:30. Don't interrupt him. Let's say it was noon. So in the morning hours, you had a few beers first.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that why he was driving?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had nothing to drink?
No, I didn't drink nothing. I wouldn't drink with my niece and nephew in the car.
Well, he shouldn't drink with his children in the car.
Exactly.
So now let's hear the rest of the story. Go ahead.
Well, like he said, we were going down the Cedar Lane, or whatever road it is, and my brother said, look at this guy coming up. He came up behind us, close and everything. Then he went on the side, and like he said, we had words.
You had words with him?
Yes, ma'am.
And you called him names? Sure you did. You threw a beer bottle at him, sir.
Yes,
There's
sir.
no question in my mind that you called him exactly what he says you
Well,
called
I didn't call him like he said every time it did. He called me a white MFer. That's the only reason why I said that.
Well, who started the name calling?
That I can't. I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay. So what'd you throw a beer bottle at his car for?
To keep him, like I said, when he swerved over close to us, to keep him from getting to hit me, hitting the side of the car. I felt the kids were in danger of their life. If he would have hit us to the side, we could have very easily swerved into the other oncoming traffic.
So you felt that by throwing the beer bottle at his car,
no, that
you were
was
going to keep your children safe?
Yes, but it was stupid on my part for doing it.
Right. And then continue with this story. Then he goes into a parking lot.
Yes, ma'am. We pulled a couple rows back. Then I went up towards him, like saying we were having words back and forth. And then
Why did you get out of the car and go up towards him?
I have no answer for that. That was wrong. Yeah. Like I said, it's something that should have never happened in the first place.
Right. And what did you think was going to happen when you went up towards him? What were you planning on doing?
Oh, I did was wanting to go up there and just to find out what the heck was going on and everything. You know, why he did what he did. But then also
what did he do?
Fight.
Just a second.
I mean, swerving with the car.
So you went up to him, according to you, to find out why he was swerving with his car.
Yes, ma'am. No, after we had words, it's like you said, we just had words back and forth. And I was mad, and I guess that he was mad, and then all of a sudden the altercation started.
And he punched you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you fell?
Yes, ma'am.
Punched you pretty good?
Yes, I give him that.
And then you got involved because you tried to pull him away from your brother.
I told Michael, his older son, he's 8, I told him, I said, stay in the car. And I went to go try to break it up. That's when me and this gentleman got into it.
But you grabbed him first by the shoulder.
I tried to break him up.
Try to take him away. Shh. Try to pull him away.
Yes, ma'am.
From your brother.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else anybody wants to say to me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
My friend here, well, he's a witness. He's a security officer at the facility that this happened at, and he'll testify to their statements that they attacked me first.
No, they didn't attack you first. Shh. They didn't attack you first.
Okay.
You threw the first punch.
Okay.
You threw the first punch, but that doesn't say that I don't believe that he was going to get you.
Okay.
Because I think that his statement to me that he got out of the car to find out why you were swerving is full of baloney.
Okay.
Give me the estimate on the damage to your car.
That's in here. There's 3 estimates here.
Do you have any pictures of the car?
Yes, I do. It's right behind the estimates.
You are great. Come prepared. I mean, not great with what you did here, because this was kind of stupid. This whole thing was stupid.
Yes, ma'am.
You're exactly right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today, Real People, Judge Judy. Santana Nottage claims William and Mark Hill threw a beer bottle at his car. William and Mark claim Santana beat them up.
Looks like the cheapest estimate is the $517.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so let me tell you what my ruling is. On your lawsuit, you're suing for $1,000,
yes.
$1,040, for tearing your T-shirt as well as the car. The car was $517.
Yes.
Sounds to me, based upon what both of you say, that this argument started because you threw a beer bottle at his car.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you started this problem, and you got to pay for his car, $517. And the truth of the matter is, I also believe that when you got out of the parking lot, if he hadn't thrown the first punch, 2 of you were going to deck him. Because you were drunk as a skunk. Considering the fact that you were going to pick up your wife who was just recovering from surgery, that makes your drunken state even more obnoxious. So I'm dismissing your counterclaims for assault, for your medical bills, or anything else. Well, you got what you deserved, because you started it. Now, you weren't smart, so you're not going to get anything for pulling your shirt or assaulting you or anything else, but I'm going to give you the money for the damage to your car, because that's what was started by these people Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $517. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I'm sorry that it happened. It should never happen.
Just what happened, happened.
I was outnumbered by 2 bigger men. I should have stayed in the car.
Thank you. Sorry that happened.
And now the next case.
All parties on Solis, Hull versus Burt. Step forward, please.
Editor Francis Solis and decorator Nelson Hull claim surgical coordinator Richard Burt's peacock damaged their car. Richard says peacocks are wild and it's not his problem.
All right. I'm just waiting for you to get ready. Ready? The two of you were tenants in an apartment complex that was owned by the defendant from 1995 to 1998, according to your papers. Is that correct?
Yes.
And at the very beginning of your tenancy, back in 1995, you noticed a large peacock on the property. So far, correct?
Yes.
And that peacock would perch on your car, scratching the paint on your car. Also correct?
Yes.
And the peacock did that from 1995 until the time you moved out in 1998. Also correct?
Correct, yes.
Now you moved out, and you want your landlord to pay for the damage to your car because you say it's his peacock. Right?
Yes.
And he says it's not his peacock, but a wild peacock that he just fed. Right?
Correct.
You all do live in California, don't you?
Yes.
Thank God. You want to explain to me why 3 years after the fact you're coming to court and bringing this nonsense lawsuit? Who's going to speak?
3 years?
3 years!
A nonsense lawsuit?
Yeah!
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Explain to me why, after the first day that you saw this peacock on your car, you didn't say to him, either get rid of the peacock if it's your peacock, or call somebody to get rid of it, otherwise we have to move, we can't stay here. Instead, you waited 3 years until you moved out, and then you decided to sue him. You understand my question now? I thought I said it in English before, but if I didn't, I just said it in English.
Well,
Answer.
That's not true. What
What's not
happened?
true?
We had this problem for quite a while.
I know you did.
We asked him at first if he would help us with it, and he did not do anything about that.
So who cares if he didn't do anything about it? What's wrong with you? You have 2 legs.
We called the.
You have a car.
We called
you pack your things in the car and you move. If it bothered you so much, you don't stay there 3 years and then come and bother me.
The problem didn't last that long.
It didn't last that long.
No.
How long did it last?
It lasted for about 2.5 years, and we could not afford to get up and move just like that. So we
Then
stayed.
it didn't bother you that much if it lasted 2.5 years and you couldn't afford to get up and move. What is wrong with you people? Don't you have anything better to do with your time? Seriously. Seriously, don't you have anything better to do with your
I'm
time?
beginning to wonder if you're serious.
Oh, I'm very serious. I read this complaint and I said to myself, if I were living in a place and the owner of that property, quiet, and the owner of that property harbored an animal, whether a dog, a cat, a bird, a canary, a squirrel, that was damaging my property, I might stay there for a week or for a month, but I would certainly get out. You, on the other hand, lived there, may have complained, kvetched a little bit, but lived there, waited until you could either afford to move out or decided to leave. And I understand you let them use their security deposit for the last month's rent, is that right?
Yes.
And then you turn around and sue them. Is this what I'm getting? Get a life. Goodbye. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Thank you.
And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Lillard versus Flynn Christensen. Step forward.
37-year-old housewife Christina Lillard is suing 21-year-old Martha Flynn and 23-year-old Gary Christensen for taking care of their daughter for nearly a year.
rise. Now, this is case number 422 on the calendar in the matter of Lillard versus Flynn Christensen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mrs. Lillard, you took care of the defendant's little girl from the time she was practically an infant for about 10 months. Your lawsuit seeks compensation for taking care of her expenses that you paid for during that 10-month period. So first, why don't you tell me how it came about that you were taking care of their baby?
Martha's mother is one of my best friends, and my daughter used to babysit for Martha, and Tiffany came into our lives, and Martha and Gary were having a hard time.
This is Martha.
Tiffany's mother, Tiffany's father, Gary. Tiffany came into our lives, and Martha asked me if I would take care of Tiffany because they were having a hard time and had no electricity, no water, and I did.
When you say if you would take care of her, you mean come and stay in your home?
Right.
How old was she at the time?
About 3 months. She became a part of our family.
How many are in your family?
There's 4. My husband, my son, my daughter, and myself.
Did she come back to visit the child?
Periodically, yes.
Why didn't your mother take care of the child?
My mother was having problems of her own with my father. They're in the verge of divorce, and I moved out of my home when I was very young. So I was on my own feet for quite a while.
How old are you?
I am 21.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
2 and 1.
And the 1-year-old is the child that we're talking about?
It's Tiffany.
Are you the father of the older child?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old are you?
I'm 23.
So what kind of problems were you having that forced you to turn over one of your children to the plaintiff?
A lot of problems between me and him.
What kind of problems?
During relationship-wise, we weren't communicating. He was either at work or coming home late. I was either not caring about my home at home, taking care of my children, or keeping my house up. We weren't communicating in some sort of way.
Who was taking care of your older child when she was taking care of the baby?
The reason why she moved to that house, I did not ask her. She had voluntarily, out of the kindness of her heart, to help me in the spot.
Why don't you answer my question? I said, when she was taking care of your infant, who was taking care of your older child?
I was.
Your older child at that point was a year old.
That is right. My water, my gas, my electricity, everything was off. I was only in my home while everything was off for maybe 2 weeks, not even that. I was in the process of moving out of that house.
So you had your older child, that's a boy, with you?
Staying at her house continuously, going back and forth.
Just a second. The baby is sleeping at her house. Your little boy is who's a year old, is sleeping at your house without gas, electric, water. Is that right?
That is right.
Okay. Now, how long did you leave the baby with the plaintiff?
10 months. With me living there periodically, in and out.
What kind of periodically?
Whenever she got up the urge to throw me out for a silly reason.
Whenever who got the urge?
Christy or her husband Gary.
Listen, I don't know whether we're speaking the same language. Did Martha live with you, stay with you for long periods of time with her son?
No, she would not allow it.
I didn't ask you whether she would not allow it, because she doesn't have to do anything for you.
No, she doesn't.
So all I asked was, did she stay with you for long periods of time?
No, not long periods. There was one time in October when she stayed with me for 3 weeks because I didn't know what to do for Martha. Martha came back from Missouri. She was here for about 6 or 7 weeks before she even contacted me to see Tiffany or to see, have any kind of relationship with her.
What were you doing in Missouri?
I moved back home due to the problems that me and him were having. And I came back here to retrieve my daughter.
When did you go back to Missouri?
Oh, let's say in April, June. I went back. And I got settled up there with my mother. I had a job. I was on my own. My children would have to have their own rooms. I was on my feet by myself singly.
So that's, let's say, from June to October you were in Missouri?
No, I was up there for 2 months. I came back down
July.
in August.
Came back in August. Where did you go?
I stayed with some friends until I can get my daughter and go back home. I was only
So you stayed with some friends.
That's right.
And where was your son all this time?
My mother was taking care of him.
And where were you all this time?
I was here.
Here where?
I was at Riverside, where I was living with my grandparents.
And how often did you go and visit with your daughter, Tiffany?
I visited as often as I could. At a period of times, I was going over there every other day. I was making the effort that I could to see her as much as possible.
Good. Were you providing any financial support for her?
Well, my grandmother, she was has been purchasing diapers by cases every month, and now I am reimbursing her for whatever she has paid for the diapers and juices and stuff like that.
Now, while I lived there, I give her money. I was on aid. I was giving her food stamps. I was filling the whole house with food, juice, milk, whatever.
So let me understand this. You were a resident of the state of California. Is that right?
Yes, I was.
And you were collecting welfare for yourself and your 2 children.
Yes, I was.
Just answer my question. Now, you were collecting welfare for your daughter from the time she was born and registered as having been born until what time?
The only times I collected for her was when I was living with her at Christy's house. I was not receiving aid for Tiffany.
You were not?
I was getting medical benefits, and that's it. And I had my case terminated.
When did you have your case terminated?
I believe it was in last year, exactly, of September. I only received aid for her for 3 months after she was born, and then my aid was terminated. I was not getting aid for her. I only received aid for my son.
And you also applied for aid for him in Missouri?
Yes, because I had him with me up there.
So you were now, and did you get money from welfare in Missouri for him?
For him.
And so you were also getting money from California for him?
No, I was not getting money.
When did you close your case in California for him?
Terminated 2 months before I left California for my son.
Why?
Because I knew I was moving out there. I had a job. I was working at the time.
You weren't working at the time. You hadn't even moved there yet. Why would you cancel your case 2 months before you moved?
My family underneath the tables. I was doing little jobs babysitting.
So you were working under the table. You were getting cash under the table while you were collecting welfare.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina Lillard wants Martha Flynn and Gary Christensen to pay for nearly a year of child care.
This is an approval notice dated July of 1998 that you applied for temporary assistance for yourself and your 2 children.
That's right.
And your first check was going to be in August of 98. As you have already received a check for July in California.
Well, I never got that check.
That's what it says here.
As a matter of fact, when I was on aid, that was going to her house, and she has been known to cash frauds of checks. She has scammed the pizza place.
So
she's not even living in her own home, Your Honor. She can't even pay her own bills. That's why the baby was pulled out of there.
I want you to be quiet. First month, prorated for July and August, you will receive $547. After that, $360 for yourself and your 2 children.
When I got back with Tiffany to show she was in my care.
That's not what it says here at all. That's not what it says here at all.
Anybody knows when you apply for aid, you have to show your children in your care. Anywhere.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. You have to show a child.
That's right.
Doesn't necessarily have to be your child. You got to bring a child. I've been in this business a very long time.
You've got to show the baby's birth certificate. You've got to show the baby's immunization cards. The baby's shots weren't brought up for 10 months. You didn't ever have the baby's immunizations when she was in your care.
Judge Judy, I did have her immunization shots done.
It's not necessary. This person is trying to make excuses for something that I don't understand. You have another problem, Miss Lillard, and I'm going to tell you what it is. These 2 people, I shouldn't say him, I'm not sure about him, but probably, have figured out to get the most out of the state that they possibly can with doing the very least that they possibly can. And she's all over the place. She's in Missouri, she's in California, she's in with hot water, without hot water, with electricity, without electricity. 20 years old, she has 2 babies, and he's doing...
That is right.
I don't know what. But you're supposed to be responsible. So if you are living at home, you're supposed to be working, and you're supposed to make sure that your 2 children aren't getting welfare. You look like a big, strong person. Why were your 2 children getting welfare anywhere?
I was working.
Well, why were your 2 children getting welfare anywhere? You don't know? Did you know that they were getting welfare?
Yes.
Why didn't you go down to the welfare office and say to them, listen, I'm working. Nobody has to support my children but me. Right?
Right.
Could I just show you one more thing?
Yeah.
This is why. If you would give this to her, please.
Oh, we have a copy of that too.
What is this?
When I received power of attorney for medical reasons in August, it was the same day that Gary filed for custody of his 2 children against Martha.
That's right.
That is basically Martha's response to what had happened from the time that Gary filed for custody, gave me temporary custody of Tiffany to where I could go get her immunization shots, in which I did.
She was 10 months behind.
Could you be quiet?
She was
what do you blame? Listen, you seem to think that everybody else is wrong and
No.
you're right.
No,
you make a baby.
I'm completely wrong.
So say I'm completely wrong.
And I'm willing to take what I have, my responsibilities.
Good.
But in order of all this, she's upset because we have taken the baby out of the home, which I know she has grown attached to my child. I know this. And I've never, she knew I was, once I got on my feet, I wanted to come back and take care of my daughter.
Let me ask you a question. That's true. And I just started to explain to Ms. Lillard that her problem is, with regard to your lawsuit, that you didn't have an agreement with her that I saw here that they were going to support the baby.
If you would have her read number 5.
None of these were under reimbursements, which...
You don't even know what you're showing me.
I never signed anything.
You didn't have to, Gary did.
And could that have been after you accepted care of
Could you
my
be
daughter?
quiet? You're irritating me. Could you point out to me where it says that he is going to pay support?
On number 5, it's the second page.
It says grantor, that's him, consents to the custodian, that's you, seeking any and all revenues which might be able to contribute or assist in the healthy environment in which this child will be a part of. Who prepared this for you?
She did.
I didn't. I'm not a lawyer. I did the best I could.
Okay. This still doesn't address an agreement that you had. Let's start with her. You know, when you have an agreement, I will take care of Tiffany, but you have to pay the child's expenses. That will be less than such a month, and I will be reimbursed for that. That's a contract. So what you're really coming in here is suing on, the only thing you could sue on is a verbal contract.
That's all that I had.
You didn't have one with her.
Well, with her there was no contract. It was
She just said, would you help me?
Right, and I did.
Now with him, you had no verbal contract with him that he was going to pay you a certain amount of support for taking care of the child. Right. This says that you can apply for any assistance.
And I did. I applied for Medi-Cal and for the baby, for insurance, health reasons, and 2 days later, after I applied for her, they revoked the power of attorney.
Sure did.
They took her from me the second time with 4 police officers. I do not know what she told them, but they came into my home, took her in her underwear.
She was in
and
jumpers,
diapers, and booties, and I never got to say goodbye. I didn't know why.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm receiving...
Judge Judy. Christina Lillard claims Martha Flynn and Gary Christensen owe her for taking care of their daughter for nearly a year.
Okay, so you revoked the guardianship that you had given her.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why.
Because at the time, my grandfather was having a birthday party, and I wanted to take my daughter to the party, and I was denied that. And I finally realized that it was time for my kids to be together, so I had to do this to revoke to get my daughter out of their home.
Where do you work now?
It's appliance.
How long have you worked there?
About 5 years.
You're not married to her, is that right?
No.
You legally been declared the father of these 2 children in any court?
No.
Where are those welfare papers? Let's see them. Did you name him as the father of these children in your welfare application?
And my son, it was undetermined. And We are going through courts right now to establish paternity for that.
You don't have to go through courts to establish paternity. When you apply for public assistance in this country, they ask you who the father of the children are. Did you name him as the father of your 2 children? The answer is you did not.
No, I did not.
Right.
As my daughter. She was.
Yes, I'm named for the daughter, but not for my son.
In your welfare application.
That's right.
Just a second. In your welfare application.
For my son, it is unknown, and for my daughter, it is Gary Christensen.
It says that here?
I don't know what it says right there.
Oh no, it doesn't say anything about you naming anybody as the father of
Well,
these
that's only
children.
one form of a form of approval of assistance. That's only one form of everything you have to file.
Has
for
the Department of Social Services, State Department of Social Services, brought you into court for support? No. You know why? Because she didn't tell him you were the father. Do you want to know why?
I was uncertain.
Because if she told them that you were the father, they would come against you for the support that she had been receiving for the children.
I'm the one who turned his name in. It was uncertain.
बँकेच्या कामामुळे टाईम नाही भेटला आणि धावपळीच्या आयुष्यात त्याला जसं व्हिडिओ पाहिजे मला बनवता येणार कारण टाईमच नाही आहे सकाळी 8 वाजता घरातून जायचं आहे ऑफिसला वेळेवर पोहोचायचं आहे कामं ते वेळेवर करायचे परत तिथून मला ऑफिस ते घर जवळजवळ 140 किलोमीटर आहे आणि ती रोजची खाद्य त्यामुळं यायला जरा वेळ जातो परत पण तिथून इकडे यायचं त्याच्यामध्ये वेळ जातो आणि परत आपला परत असा म्हणजे हे झाला आहे त्याच्यामुळे आता म्हणजे शॉर्ट व्हिडिओ कधीतरी टाकत असतो नाही का इंस्टाग्रामचे काय आपले शॉर्ट व्हिडिओ असते ते आपण टाकत असतो ते आता कसं आहे त्याला मी थोडा आता कसं आहे रेग्युलर केलं पाहिजे नाही येऊ शकत तर तुम्ही शेकापूर ऑफिस या चॅनलला मला तिथं घेऊन येणारच नाही आता असंच आपलं असंच मला नाही का असंच मला हे त्याचं ट्रॅव्हलिंग वगैरे करत करत मला हे तुम्हाला आता व्हिडिओ वगैरे जशी बोलायचं ते मला आताच चालू करावं लागेल आणि आपण जवळजवळ मी आता घरातून निघालो खूप म्हणजे लांब आहे मला अजून नाही का 70 किलोमीटर त्यामुळे बरंच लांब जायचं असते त्यामुळं घरातून लवकर निघावं लागतं आणि काही गडबडी गाडी चालवताना हे नाही तरी मी आपण
dia pernah, karena saya